Tip number 5 with Justin from Elevation Homes. Good to see you, bud. Last time we talked, we were talking square footage and what it meant, but we never really talked about the interior of the house and what that was involved per square footage. Could you give us a quick update? So in your company with Elevation, what would that include? Like, what do you get per square foot inside the home?
Yeah, morning, David. It's again, I mean, this is it's an ongoing topic, and a lot of people do things a lot of different ways when it comes to, you know, what you're actually receiving on the inside. I mean, you know, the outside is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's got to be covered up. It's a lot of it's dictated by the building code, because I mean, the building's got to be sealed. It's got to be weather resistant. It's got to have its rain screens, its roof, so on and so forth. Now, but the interior is a lot more choice related. I mean, you know, there's finishes, there's types of finishes, and then there's, you know, different qualities of the actual, you know, both the constructive interior and the interior design kind of thing, right? So, I mean, there's a lot more that goes on to the interior space, to be honest, in terms of planning and cost than the exterior. So what we do as a company, I mean, I'm kind of a full package guy. I mean, I want people to be able to move into these things and not have to fool around too much, right? I mean, you know, if you're buying a production house, generally speaking, you're getting a pretty move-in ready house. Chances are there'll be some basics, you know, in terms of the actual hookups for your utilities, your appliances and things like that. But in our houses, we do, whether it's a decent sized reno or a complete house, we have some appliance people that we work with. So like, I like to have the option to be able to say, hey, like, you know, are you coming with appliances? Are you not? I mean, I want to get them installed before you get here because, you know, more often than not in a production house, you know, you're either phoning the appliance people to do the install, a gas fitter, a plumber, or, you know, it's all this after the fact stuff that,
okay.
That I try to move away from. And because I mean, I find like, you know, after you've just spent all the money you ever had, you get in there and you've got to spend everything else in the other savings account, putting your blinds on, putting your appliances in, you know, fixtures and fittings that may or may not. So in our places, I mean, we offer different packages all the way down to the curtains. You know, I work with a couple of designers that'll spec your furniture if you want. I mean, you know, but I mean, for the majority of people, they like to do that kind of stuff. But I mean, we hang your TVs, we put in your appliances. I mean, we'll go as far as you want to go. And the whole reasoning behind that is that, you know, we're already there, and we have, between myself and 4 of my other guys, I mean, we have the skills to do all those installs. So, you know, end of the job, you know, the house closes up, or the reno is, you get occupancy on the thing. And then you say, all right, like, you want to move in now, or do you want to give me 2 weeks and I'll put up your TV and we'll do your feature walls and that kind of stuff. So, and I always leave a contingency, budget for that specifically. So in our places, you kind of get as much as, you know, you're looking for design wise. Now, generally speaking, most people would offer you builders painted walls, builders painted baseboards, and, you know, obviously all your fittings and fixtures are going to be installed and working, but that does not include the appliance installs, you know, your washer dryers, putting in the stove, hooking up the gas, testing the gas, you know, all those sorts of things. That's the kind of stuff that's generally, you know, not included.
Okay. That's really interesting, because I like the idea that you can, shows how lazy I am. I would say to you, okay, just do it all and give me the price, because I don't want to be messing around trying to find an electrician or a plumber late in the game, right, to get it done properly.
Right.
And I think that's I think a lot of people are like that, because there's so much, like you just mentioned, so many things that you got to take into consideration. Right. And I think most people are, you know, it's not intimidated. You know what you're doing. Let you do it. I like blue. Right. Okay, go nuts. Yeah. this is kind of an off question, but I want to ask you, because I know you guys do a lot of outside work as well, but decks and patios are not included, correct, on the square footage?
Generally not, no. And I just we're doing a new house that we're going to be selling up here in Waterford near me, and I've had quite a few people come to the site and inspect it. I mean, it's not up yet, but you'd be surprised. Like I'm shocked how much people ask me about what's the pathway up to my house going to look like, and am I getting some kind of a deck out of the back, and for the most part, the only time you're going to get it kind of included is when you don't meet code on some of your heights and you actually have to have a deck with a railing to come out of the house, right? Yeah. Or to come out of your back door or whatever is, I mean, basically any drop that's over 24 inches is, we as a builder, we've got to provide a safe way to get down, be if it's a couple of steps and a rail and so on and so forth. So occasionally you'll see that in production, this guy got a deck, this guy didn't get a deck, and so on. And, every third house, but it's just because of however that elevation happened, as far as the top of the foundation wall, some of them are sunken, some of them are not sunken. So they're going to require more. Generally speaking, we have outdoor packages that go from like $11,000, which gets you a nice little interlock path or a stamped concrete path up to the front of the house, couple of garden beds and a nice pressure treat deck that you can just move in and sit out. And then we have like $100,000 like exterior landscape packages because we do all kinds of stuff like big armor stone walls and we've done some monster decks for people right from the get-go and pergolas and I mean that's where my roots are. I mean when I started when I was 15, I started on a carpentry crew for a landscape company and we built all the pergolas, the cabanas, the pool houses. I helped on the pools when guys didn't show up and stuff like that. So I mean summer months I still try to we're working on a lot of actual building projects right now. But we're pouring some concrete next week. We're doing a couple of patios. We're doing a deck this morning up in Oakland. So when the weather is there, I ain't wasting it. So I'd rather do a handful of these smaller things. Yeah, they're not huge money jobs, but man, it's just good to get out. I mean, we've waited long enough, for God's sake.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that you guys were so wound into the outdoor aspect of the homes. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like you said, everybody has their different vision when it comes to a deck or a patio. So I'm sure you guys have to take all that into consideration.
Yeah.
I do want you, when you get your place built in Waterford that you're selling, can you send me some photos and we'll get them out for folks so they can see your work?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, we're actually, this new one that's going up that will be a for sale unit. I got lucky and a few things got moved up. So I think we might even be starting to frame that thing in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I can always send through some some photos on some progress and stuff like that.
We always talk, but we never we got to start showing folks some of this great work you're doing.
100%. Yeah.
I know it's Friday morning. This is like when we like to get together because we know the weekend. We've almost made it, both of us. We've almost made it through the whole week. Yours is a little more intense than mine, I'm sure. What are we going to talk about next week? What are you thinking for tip number 6? What do you got so we can sort of give the folks a little indication of what's coming down the pipe?
Well, I mean, there's I always try to base these tips on a problem or an issue or something that like happened that week. You know what I mean? Because that to me is it's obviously something that's, and especially if I hear it twice. So, I mean, it must be something that is current that people are wondering or worrying about and so on and so forth. And the one that was like, I heard 3 times this week, mostly because of, everybody, last little bit, we've experienced a lot of rain, a lot of water and stuff like that. Right. So, I think we could go on to waterproofing, whether it be new house, especially foundation wise, right? Whether it be new house or addition or, only because all this rain, I've gotten the calls to go and look at the the remnants of what happened, right?
Yeah.
And you know, and it's generally like, I mean, it's usually a couple of weeks after. So you know, the basements, the way we fix them, the way, you know, and if we can't fix them, we have a couple of great guys that could come in and do some heavy duty stuff. But I mean, we could take care of a lot of little small stuff, whether it be you know, on the reno or the new side. And I mean, this is what foundations, you know, basements do this. I mean, it's nothing new. It's more for a homeowner. How do you manage it when the water's inside, right?
All right. So that's next week. We're talking waterproofing. Got to let you go and get at it today. Have a great week,
Yes,
Justin. Thanks for doing this. Take care.
Thank you.